Hi, everyone, and welcome to Motion English Podcast. Today's session is going to sharpen more than just your listening. We're building real speaking and communication skills, too. This is a full B1 B2 masterclass on everyday English conversations, designed to help you speak naturally, follow real conversations, and use richer vocabulary and phrases with confidence. We'll walk through everyday situations, useful conversation patterns, natural expressions, and advanced vocabulary you can use in cafes, at work, in shops, on the phone, in social settings, and countless other daily moments. You'll listen, repeat, and practice with me, building real fluency step by step. By the end of this lesson, you'll sound clearer, more confident, and more advanced in English. You'll pick up essential everyday phrases, the kind of expressions native speakers actually use. And you'll rehearse them through real conversation examples designed to help you think and respond faster. Before we start, subscribe and turn on notifications so you catch every new episode of Motion English Podcast. Take a breath, relax, and let's get started. As we move through this lesson, picture yourself living out a typical day, except today, that day happens entirely in English. You wake up, get ready, talk to people, solve little problems, make decisions, and communicate your way through all kinds of situations. The goal here is to train your brain to think in English during these everyday moments, recognize natural phrases, and feel genuinely confident speaking. Let's begin with something warm and simple, the thing that opens almost every conversation, greeting someone naturally at a B1, B2 level. You already know hello and how are you, but let's make these more natural, the way native speakers actually use them. When you run into someone, you might say, "Hey, good to see you," or "Hi, how's your day going?" These sound relaxed and friendly. In a workplace setting, you might go with something like, "Good morning, how have you been?" or "Good afternoon, hope everything's going well," slightly more formal but still warm. As you listen, repeat these greetings softly, out loud, or in your head. Repetition helps your mouth and voice get comfortable with real English rhythm. Now imagine greeting someone you haven't seen in a while. Instead of the usual "How are you?" try "It's been a while, how have things been?" That instantly sounds more advanced and personal. Another common one, "What have you been up to lately?" Practice saying it slowly, letting the words flow together. You don't need to rush. Fluency isn't about speed, it's about smoothness. Now let's move into one of the biggest parts of daily conversation, talking about your day. When someone asks, "How's your day going?" try richer B1, B2 responses like, "It's been pretty good so far," "It started out a bit stressful, but it's getting better," or "It's been busy." "But I'm managing." If your day's been tough, say, "It's been a long morning, but I'm trying to stay positive." If it's relaxed, try, "It's been a quiet day." "And I'm enjoying the break." Let's practice. Imagine someone just asked how your day's going. Take a slow breath and try one of these out loud. "It's been pretty good so far," or "It's been a busy day, but I'm managing." Feel how the words connect. That's how you build your speaking muscle. Now imagine a friend or coworker asks about your morning. Instead of a plain description, use richer vocabulary. "I had a productive morning," "I got a lot done," or "I spent the morning catching up on some important tasks." If it was slow, try, "I took my time getting ready today," or "I had a slow start. "But I'm feeling more energized now." Let's do a quick practice. Think of one thing you did this morning and describe it in an upgraded way. Instead of "I woke up late," try, "I ended up waking up later than usual." Instead of "I ate breakfast," try, "I made myself a quick breakfast before starting my day." If you worked or studied, try, "I spent the morning focusing on my tasks," or "I caught up on some assignments." Say your sentence slowly. Every real sentence you build about your own life makes you more fluent. Next, let's cover asking for and giving opinions, an essential B1, B2 skill. To ask someone's opinion naturally, try, "What do you think about this?" "How do you feel about it?" or "I'd like to hear your thoughts," in a more formal setting. Try, "Do you have any thoughts on this?" or "I'd appreciate your perspective." Now let's practice giving your own opinion. Instead of a flat, "I think it's good," try, "Personally, I feel that it's a great idea," or "From my point of view, it could work really well." To disagree politely, try, "I see where you're coming from, but I have a slightly different perspective," or "I understand your point, but I'm not entirely convinced." Let's practice. Imagine someone in a group asks, "What do you think?" Try, "Personally, I feel that it's a great idea," or "From my point of view, it could work really well." Now a polite disagreement, "I see where you're coming from, but I have a slightly different perspective." These sentences help you sound respectful, thoughtful, and fluent. Now let's tackle explaining a situation. Many learners struggle here because they translate directly from their own language, but a few advanced connectors make it easy. Try opening with "so basically, the thing is," or "what happened was." For example, "so basically, I was on my way to work when I realized I'd forgotten my phone." Or "the thing is, I had a meeting scheduled, but I couldn't find the documents." Let's practice. Think of a small problem you had recently and explain it using one of these. For example, "what happened was I missed the bus because I left the house a bit late." Or "the thing is, I wanted to go to the gym, but I didn't have enough time." Say it slowly and notice how natural it feels. We'll keep building more scenarios, vocabulary, and speaking practice as we go. This is just the start. Let's move into making small talk, something that might seem simple, but at B1, B2 level becomes a real chance to sound more advanced. Small talk keeps relationships friendly and conversations smooth. Meeting someone in an elevator, at work, or in a shop instead of just "hi, try busy day so far," or "it's been quite a morning, hasn't it?" to keep it going. Add "how's everything on your side?" or "has your day been going smoothly?" These small additions matter. They show you can keep a conversation moving without getting stuck. Picture walking into your office or classroom and spotting a colleague or classmate. A natural way to open is "hey, how's your morning going so far?" or "good to see you, how's your week been treating you?" when they respond. Keep things flowing with "I can imagine," "that makes sense," or "I totally understand." These show you're actively listening, a genuinely important skill. Since good speakers are also good listeners. Let's practice. Someone says, "my morning has been really busy." You respond, "I can imagine, it's been a bit hectic for me too." Someone says, "I didn't sleep well last night." You respond, "I'm sorry to hear that. I hope the rest of your day feels better." These small responses make you sound caring, polite, and fluent. Now let's move into making polite requests. English relies heavily on softening language to sound polite. Phrases like "could you," "would you mind," "do you think you could," and "is it possible to?" Instead of "give me the report," try "could you send me the report when you have a moment?" Instead of "close the window," try "would you mind closing the window?" It's a bit cold in here. Let's practice. Think of something simple you'd like someone to do and turn it into a polite request. Want help? Try "do you think you could help me with this?" Want an explanation repeated? Try "could you explain that again just a bit more slowly?" Want someone to wait? Try "would you mind waiting for just a moment?" Next, offering help, another important part of advanced communication. Try "do you need a hand? Would you like me to take care of that?" or "I can help you with that if you want." When someone accepts, respond with "no problem at all, sure." "I'd be happy to," or "let me take care of it." Let's practice. Someone's carrying heavy bags. "Do you need a hand with that?" Someone looks confused reading a document. "Would you like me to explain it?" Good English comes from calm repetition, not pressure or speed. Now let's cover giving reasons. When someone asks why something happened, try "the reason is, it's because," "what happened was," or "I decided to." Because, for example, "the reason I was late is that traffic was really heavy this morning." Or, "I decided to change my plans because I needed some extra rest." Let's practice. Pick a small example from your day and explain the reason. "The reason I skipped breakfast is that I was running late." Or, "I decided to walk instead of taking the bus because the weather was nice." Let's move into describing how you feel, hugely important for natural conversation. Instead of "good" or "bad," use richer words. Instead of "I'm good," try "I'm feeling pretty upbeat today," or "I'm in a really positive mood." Instead of "I'm tired," try "I'm feeling a bit drained," or "I'm running low on energy." If you're stressed, try "I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed," or "I've got a lot on my plate right now." Let's practice. Think about how you feel right now and say one of these softly. "I'm feeling really focused." "I'm a bit overwhelmed today." "I'm in a calm mood." The more you practice emotional vocabulary, the more expressive and fluent you become. As we continue, we'll build richer conversations around shopping, traveling, work, social situations, decisions, and misunderstandings, always focused on sounding natural and confident. Speaking fluent English isn't about memorizing endless vocabulary lists. It's about using real, meaningful phrases in real situations, which is exactly what we're practicing together. Let's keep building your natural daily life English by looking at talking about plans, making them, changing them, or canceling them. Instead of "I have plans," try "I've already got something scheduled," "I've made some arrangements," or "I'm planning to spend the evening at home." to invite someone. Instead of do you want to go out, try would you like to grab a coffee later, or are you free to meet up this evening? Now imagine someone invites you to something you can't attend. At B1, B2 level, it matters to decline politely. Instead of I can't come, try I'd love to, but I've already got something planned. I really appreciate the invite, but I won't be able to make it today, or thanks for thinking of me. But I'm tied up at that time. Let's practice. A friend says, do you want to meet for lunch later? You respond, I'd love to. But I'm a bit busy this afternoon, maybe we can try another day. Someone asks, are you free tomorrow evening? You could say, I might be, let me check and get back to you, or what did you have in mind? Next, giving suggestions. When someone's unsure, offer ideas politely with maybe you could try, have you considered, or one option might be. If a friend says they're stressed, try maybe you could take a short break, or have you considered going for a walk? It might help you relax. For a work problem, try one option might be to talk to your manager. Let's practice. Think of someone feeling overwhelmed with work. And offer a suggestion, maybe you could break your tasks into smaller steps, or have you considered asking for help with that project? Now let's cover expressing preferences. When asked about food, activities, or plans, use I prefer, I tend to, I usually go for, or I'm more into. For example, I prefer staying home in the evenings, or I'm more into outdoor activities on weekends. Let's practice. Someone asks what movies you enjoy, I tend to enjoy adventure movies, or I'm more into dramas and mystery films. Asked how you spend free time, I usually go for a quiet walk, or I prefer relaxing with a good book. Let's talk about describing your routine in an advanced way. Instead of I wake up at 7, try I usually start my day around 7, or I tend to wake up early most days. Instead of I drink coffee, try I like to start my morning with a cup of coffee. For work. Instead of I work until 5, try I normally finish work around 5, or my workday usually wraps up in the late afternoon. Let's practice. Describe one part of your day naturally. I usually start my day with a quick stretch, or I often spend my mornings working on important tasks. Now, handling misunderstandings, something that happens even between native speakers. If you don't catch something, instead of what, or I don't understand, try sorry. Could you repeat that? I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Or could you speak a little more slowly, if someone misunderstands you? Correct them gently with what I meant was, let me explain it another way, or sorry, maybe I wasn't clear. Let's practice. You didn't hear a question clearly. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat it? Someone misread what you said. What I meant was that I'll be available later in the evening. Next, expressing agreement and disagreement. Instead of a plain yes, try absolutely, I agree with you, or I think you're right. To disagree without sounding harsh, try I see your point, but I understand what you mean. But I have a different view, or that's an interesting perspective, but I'm not sure I completely agree. Let's practice. Someone says, I think working from home is better. You agree, I agree with you, it gives more flexibility. Or you disagree, I see your point. But I find it easier to focus in the office. Now let's move into describing experiences, something that comes up constantly when people ask about your weekend, a trip, or something memorable. Avoid short answers like it was good. Instead, try it was a really refreshing experience, it turned out better than I expected, or it was quite enjoyable actually. For a difficult experience. Instead of it was bad, try it was a bit challenging, it didn't go the way I hoped, or it was a tough situation. But I learned something from it. Let's practice. Think of something you did recently and describe it richly. It was a relaxing way to spend my time, or it wasn't exactly what I expected. But I learned something new. Now let's cover expressing certainty and uncertainty. For certainty, instead of I'm sure, try I'm completely certain, I'm positive about that, or there's no doubt in my mind. For uncertainty. Instead of I don't know, try I'm not entirely sure, I'm a bit unsure about that, or I'm still trying to figure it out. Let's practice. Someone asks about a plan you're unsure of, I'm not entirely sure yet, I need a little more time to decide. Someone asks about something you strongly believe, I'm completely certain that it's the right choice. Let's look at fillers and hesitation phrases, which make you sound wonderfully natural. In real conversation, native speakers pause and soften their speech with well, you know, actually, let me think, honestly, or to be honest. Instead of jumping straight to I don't know, pause and say, well, I'm not really sure, or honestly, I need a moment to think. Let's practice. Someone asks a tough question, well, let me think about that, or actually. That's a good question. Someone asks for your honest opinion. To be honest, I think you should take your time with that decision. Now, showing appreciation and gratitude. Beyond a basic thank you, try I really appreciate it. That means a lot to me, or thanks, that was very kind of you. To thank someone for their time. Try thank you for taking the time to help me, or I appreciate your patience. When someone thanks you. Instead of only you're welcome, try no problem at all, anytime, or I'm happy to help. Let's practice. Someone helped you recently. I really appreciate your help. That was very kind of you. Someone thanks you, no problem at all, or anytime. Let's move into describing problems and offering. Solutions, something you'll use constantly. Since daily life is full of small hiccups. When explaining a problem, try I ran into a small issue. I've been facing a bit of a challenge, or something unexpected came up. To offer solutions. Try one thing we could try is, maybe a better approach would be, or a possible solution might be. Let's practice. Describe a small delay. I ran into a slight delay on my way, or I've been having a bit of trouble with my schedule today. Then offer a solution. One possible solution might be to start a little earlier tomorrow. Now let's talk about goals and future plans. Instead of I want to improve my English, try one of my main goals is to improve my English fluency, or I'm working on becoming more confident when speaking English. For long-term goals. Try in the future I'd like to develop better communication skills, or I'm planning to work on my pronunciation to sound more natural. Let's practice. Think of a goal and express it. One of my main goals is to communicate more confidently, or I'm working on improving my listening comprehension. Let's finish this section with expressing hopes and expectations. Instead of I hope so, try I'm really hoping things go well, I'm looking forward to a positive outcome, or I hope everything works out for the best. For expectations. Try I'm expecting it to be a productive day, or I'm planning for things to go smoothly. Let's practice. Think of something you hope happens soon. I'm really hoping everything goes well, or I'm looking forward to a successful outcome. The more you weave hopes and plans into your English, the more natural you'll sound, and we'll keep going with deeper scenarios and richer vocabulary as we move forward. Let's move deeper into daily conversation by talking about past events naturally. Instead of short answers like I went there or I did it, add detail and emotion. Instead of I went to the store, try I ended up going to the store to pick up a few things, or I stopped by the store on my way home. For something unexpected. Try something funny happened earlier, or I had an interesting experience today. Let's practice. Instead of I met my friend, try I happened to run into my friend while I was out, or I ended up meeting my friend unexpectedly. Notice how the meaning expands and your fluency grows when you add these small natural details. Next, talking about habits, especially comparing past habits to current ones. Instead of a flat I used to. All the time, try I used to but not anymore, I would often, or back then I usually. For example, I used to wake up early but now my schedule is different. Or, back then I usually spent my weekends studying. Let's practice. Think of an old habit. I used to drink a lot of coffee. But now I'm trying to cut back, or back then I usually stayed up late working on assignments. Now, describing people. Instead of nice or good, use richer words. Instead of she is nice, try she's really warm and friendly, or she has a very positive energy. Instead of he is helpful, try he's incredibly supportive, or he always goes out of his way to help others. Let's practice describing someone you admire. She's incredibly thoughtful and always pays attention to the little things, or he's the kind of person who makes everyone feel comfortable. Let's cover describing places. Instead of it's good or it's beautiful, try it has a really peaceful atmosphere, it's a lively place with a lot of energy, or it's quiet, cozy, and perfect for relaxing. Let's practice describing somewhere you visited. It had a cozy atmosphere that made me feel relaxed, or it's a vibrant place full of activity. Now, talking about time naturally. Instead of I will go later, try I'll go in a little while, or I'll head out sometime this afternoon. Instead of I did it yesterday, try I got it done yesterday evening, or I managed to finish it last night. Instead of I will do it tomorrow, try I'm planning to get it done tomorrow, or I should be able to finish it by tomorrow. Let's practice. Think of something you plan to do soon. I'm planning to work on it tomorrow, or I should be able to finish it by the end of the day. Next, explaining reasons in more detail. Instead of always using because, try since, as, due to, or the main reason is. For example, I decided to stay home since the weather wasn't great, or the main reason I chose this is that it's more convenient. Let's practice. Think of a recent decision and explain it. I chose to stay in tonight since I need some rest, or the main reason I changed my plans is that I had too much work to finish. Now, talking about possibilities. Instead of maybe, try it's possible that, there's a chance that, or I might. For example, there's a chance that I'll go out later, or it's possible that I'll take a break this afternoon. Let's practice. Think of something you might do later. There's a chance that I'll do it, or it's possible that I'll work on it later. Let's cover expressing likes and dislikes politely. Instead of I don't like it, try it's not really my thing, I'm not a big fan of it, or I don't enjoy it very much. Instead of I like it, try I really enjoy this, I'm a big fan of this, or this is something I appreciate a lot. Let's practice. Think of a food, activity, or movie you like. I really enjoy this, or I'm a big fan of this. Now something you don't, it's not really my thing, or I'm not a big fan of it, as we go. We'll keep building deeper scenarios and richer, more advanced vocabulary to help you communicate confidently in real situations. Let's now cover expectations versus reality. Instead of I expected it, try I was hoping it would turn out better, I thought it would be a lot easier, or I didn't expect things to go this way. For reality. Try but it ended up being more difficult than I imagined, or but it turned out really well in the end. Let's practice. Think of something you planned recently. I was expecting it to be simple, but it ended up taking much longer, or I thought it would be stressful but it turned out surprisingly smooth. Next, handling suggestions, accepting or rejecting them politely. Instead of a plain okay, try that sounds like a good idea, I'll give that a try, or I think that could really help. To decline politely, try that's a good point, but I don't think it's the right option for me right now, or I appreciate the suggestion but I might try something else. Let's practice. Someone suggests you take a break. That sounds like a good idea. I should take a moment to relax. Someone suggests something you don't want. I appreciate the suggestion, but I think I'll handle it differently. Now let's cover talking about responsibilities. Instead of I have work, try I've got a lot on my plate right now, or I have a few tasks I need to take care of. When you finish something. Instead of I finished it, try I managed to get it done, I wrapped it up earlier today, or I completed it just in time. Let's practice. Think of something you need to do today. I have a few things I need to take care of. Something you finished, I managed to get it done, or I wrapped it up earlier. Let's move into expressing. Frequency. Instead of only always, sometimes, or never, try I tend to, I usually, I hardly ever, or I occasionally. For example, I tend to drink tea in the evenings, or I occasionally go for a walk in the mornings. Let's practice. Something you do regularly, I usually start my morning with some music. Something you rarely do, I hardly ever eat fast food. Now, describing weather and its effect on your day. Instead of it's hot or it's cold, try it's warmer than usual today, it's quite chilly this morning, or the weather has been unpredictable lately, to describe its effect. Try the heat made it hard to focus, or the cool breeze made the morning feel refreshing. Let's practice. Describe today's weather. It's been a bit cooler than usual, then add its effect. It helped me feel more awake. Let's finish this part with showing empathy, a powerful communication skill. When someone shares a struggle. Instead of that's bad, try I'm sorry you're going through that. That sounds really tough, or I can understand why you feel that way. When someone shares good news. Instead of good job, try that's wonderful news. I'm really happy for you, or you must feel proud of yourself. Let's practice. Someone's having a hard day. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. I hope things get better soon. Someone shares good news. That's amazing. You must be really pleased. Let's continue with asking for clarification, something even advanced speakers need. Sometimes. Instead of what do you mean, try could you explain that in another way? Do you mind giving me a bit more detail? Or I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. Let's practice. Someone says something unclear. Could you explain that a little more clearly? Or can you give me an example? Now let's cover describing intentions. Instead of I want to do something, try I'm thinking of doing, I'm planning to, or I'm considering. For example, I'm thinking of taking a short break, or I'm considering making some changes to my routine. Let's practice. Something you intend to do soon. I'm considering taking a day off, or I'm planning to reorganize my schedule. Let's talk about giving advice in a helpful, natural way. Instead of "you should do this," soften it with "if I were you, I would consider," "you might want to try," or "one thing that could help is." In a professional setting, try "it might be a good idea to," or "perhaps you could look into." Let's practice. A stressed friend, one thing that might help is breaking the tasks into smaller steps, or "if I were you, I'd take a short break to clear my mind." Someone unsure about trying something new, you might want to give it a try, it could be a good experience. Now, asking for advice. Instead of "what should I do," try "do you have any suggestions? What would you recommend?" or "I'd appreciate your advice on this." In a formal situation, try "I'd value your opinion on this matter," or "could you give me some guidance?" Let's practice. You're making a decision, "do you have any suggestions?" or "what would you recommend in this situation?" Next, expressing doubt or hesitation. Instead of "I don't know," try "I'm not completely sure about that, I'm still thinking it over," or "I'm a bit uncertain at the moment." When you need more time, try "I need a little more time to think about it," or "let me take a moment to consider that." Let's practice. Someone wants a quick decision, "I'm still thinking it over," or "I'm a bit unsure right now." Let's cover describing emotional reactions in more detail. Instead of "I was happy," try "I felt really uplifted, it made my day brighter," or "I was pleasantly surprised." Instead of "I was sad," try "I felt a bit down, it was a tough moment for me," or "I felt emotionally drained." Let's practice. A recent positive moment, "it really lifted my spirits," or "it made me feel genuinely happy." A challenging moment, "it was emotionally exhausting," or "I felt overwhelmed for a while." Now, describing cause and effect in everyday situations. Instead of "I was late because of traffic," try "the heavy traffic caused a delay," or "traffic slowed me down." So I arrived later than expected. Instead of "I was tired because I worked a lot," try "working long hours left me feeling exhausted," or "the long day took a lot of energy out of me." Let's practice. Something small that happened today, "the noise made it hard to concentrate," or "the pleasant weather helped me relax." Let's move into offering compliments. Instead of "you look nice," try "you look wonderful today, that outfit really suits you," or "your smile brightens the room." Instead of "good job," try "you handled that really well, you did a fantastic job with that," or "I'm impressed with the effort you put in." Let's practice. A friend accomplished something, "you really did a great job on that," or "I'm proud of how hard you worked." Next, describing interests and hobbies. Instead of "I like reading," try "I enjoy reading in my free time, I'm really into books and learning," or "reading helps me relax and disconnect." Instead of "I like music," try "I'm a big fan of music," or "listening to music helps me unwind." Let's practice. Something you enjoy, "I'm really into cooking these days," or "I enjoy spending time outdoors, it helps me feel refreshed." Now let's cover handling disagreements or conflicts politely. Instead of "you're wrong," try "I see your point, but I have a different perspective. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not sure I agree," or "you make a valid point, however. I see things differently. If you want clarification, try "could you explain that a bit more," or "help me understand what you mean." Let's practice. Someone says something you disagree with, "I understand your point, but I see it differently," or "that's an interesting idea, but I'm not entirely convinced." Remember as we go. Fluency isn't about speaking fast, it's about speaking clearly, calmly, and confidently, expressing your thoughts naturally, and genuinely connecting with others through meaningful language. Now let's work on expressing needs and preferences in real situations: shopping, ordering food, making appointments, asking for help. Instead of "I need this," try "I'm looking for," "I was hoping to find," or "do you happen to have." Instead of "I need a new phone," try "I'm looking for a new phone with a good camera," or "I was hoping to find something affordable but reliable." Let's practice. In a store, "I'm looking for a jacket that's warm but lightweight." In a cafe, "I'd like something warm to drink," or "do you happen to have oat milk?" Let's cover ordering food. Instead of "I want this," try "could I get," "I'll have," or "I'd like." For example, "could I get a medium latte, please?" or "I'd like a chicken sandwich with no mayonnaise." To customize, try "is it possible to add," or "could you leave out?" Let's practice. At a restaurant, "I'll have the grilled chicken with vegetables, please," or "could I get a cup of tea with lemon?" Then customize, "is it possible to make it less spicy?" Next, making appointments. Instead of "I want an appointment," try "I'd like to schedule an appointment. Is there any availability tomorrow?" or could I book a time for this afternoon to change one? Instead of I can't come, try I need to reschedule, or is it possible to move my appointment to a later time? Let's practice. Calling a clinic, I'd like to schedule an appointment for next week, or is there any availability in the morning? Now let's cover problem-solving conversations. Instead of expressing frustration directly, try I think there might be a misunderstanding. I'm having a bit of trouble with, or could you help me figure this out, when explaining. Try the issue I'm facing is, or what seems to be happening is. When requesting help, try could you please take a look at it, or is there anything we can do to fix this? Let's practice. An order arrived wrong. I think there might be a mistake with my order, then, could you help me sort this out? Let's finish this part with expressing enthusiasm or lack of it. Instead of that's great, try that sounds amazing, I'd really love to try that, or that's exciting. Instead of I don't like it, soften with I'm not too excited about that, or that's not really my style. Let's practice. Something you enjoy, that sounds wonderful, or I'd really love to do that. Mild disinterest, I'm not too excited about that option. Let's move on to handling invitations. When someone invites you somewhere, you need more than a simple yes or no. To accept, try I'd love to, that sounds great, or count me in. To decline politely, try I appreciate the invitation but I won't be able to make it, that sounds lovely. But I already have plans, or maybe next time. Let's practice an invitation to a gathering, I'd love to, what time should I be there, can't attend, thank you for inviting me. But I won't be able to join this time. Next, describing daily challenges and how you handle them. Instead of my day was hard, try I had a few challenges today, it was a demanding day but I managed to get through it, or things were a bit overwhelming. But I handled them. To describe solving a problem, try I took a moment to think things through, I tried a different approach, or I asked for help and it made things easier. Let's practice. A small challenge today, it was a bit overwhelming but I handled it, or I tried a different approach and it worked out. Let's also revisit routines in a more advanced way. Instead of I wake up early, try I usually start my mornings early to stay productive, or my day typically begins around sunrise. Instead of I study in the evening, try I tend to study in the evenings when things feel quieter. Let's practice. Choose a simple daily action. I like to take a quiet moment in the morning to prepare for the day, or I usually wind down in the evening with some reading. Now let's cover describing your thoughts clearly. Instead of I think this or I believe that, expand with the way I see it is, from my perspective, or what I've been thinking lately is. Instead of I think the weather will change, try the way I see it. The weather might change soon, or from my perspective it looks like it could rain later. Let's practice, express your opinion about today from my perspective. It's been a productive day, or the way I see it, we just need a little more time to finish this. Next, expressing agreement with nuance, since not all agreement is total agreement. Instead of only yes or I agree, try I agree to some extent, I see what you mean, or I can understand that point, for strong agreement. Try I completely agree, I'm on the same page, or that makes perfect sense to me. Let's practice. Someone says short breaks improve productivity, I completely agree. It helps refresh the mind. Partial agreement, I see what you mean but I think it depends on the situation. Let's also cover expressing disagreement politely. Instead of a direct I disagree, soften with I see your point but I understand what you're saying however, or I respect your opinion but I have a different view. Let's practice. Someone says something you don't fully support, I understand your point but I see things differently, or I respect your perspective but I'm not entirely convinced. Now, expressing curiosity, asking natural questions keeps conversations alive. Instead of what do you do, try so what kind of work are you involved in, or where are you based these days, for deeper questions. Try how did you get into that, or what do you enjoy most about it. Let's practice, you just met someone so. What kind of work are you involved in, or how did you get into that field? Let's cover expressing uncertainty about the future. Instead of I don't know what will happen, try I'm not sure how everything will turn out, it's a bit hard to predict right now, or I'm still deciding what direction to take. When optimistic. Try I have a feeling things will work out, or I'm hopeful that the situation will improve. Let's practice. Something you're unsure about, I'm not sure how things will go. But I'm staying positive, now talking about everyday decisions. Instead of I chose this, try I decided to go with this option, I ended up choosing this because it felt right, or I went with this decision after thinking it over, to describe changing your mind. Try I changed my mind, I reconsidered, or I decided to take a different route. Let's practice. Choosing between two things, I ended up choosing the simpler option, or I decided to go with what felt more comfortable. Let's also cover expressing relief. Instead of I'm relieved, try I'm glad that's over. That's a huge weight off my shoulders, or I feel much better now that it's done. When things resolve well. Try I'm really happy everything worked out, or that's such a relief. Let's practice something stressful that just ended. I'm so glad that's done, or that's a big weight off my mind. Now. Giving short explanations using transitional phrases, words like actually, well, basically, honestly, and to be honest. For example, well, I was thinking we could start later. Or, basically, we just need to adjust a few things. Let's practice a simple explanation, well, I need a little more time, or actually, I already took care of that. Remember, fluency comes from practicing real sentences you can use immediately. The more you repeat, the faster your mind learns to think in English automatically. Let's move into expressing surprise and reactions, something that comes up constantly in real conversation. Instead of just really or wow, try oh, I wasn't expecting that, that's surprising, or seriously, that's interesting, for good news. Try that's incredible, that's amazing to hear, or I can't believe how great that is, for disappointing news instead of oh. No, try that's too bad, I'm sorry to hear that, or that must be frustrating. Let's practice someone got a promotion, that's amazing. Congratulations, someone had a hard day, that's really tough, I hope tomorrow is easier for you. Next, describing progress. Instead of I'm improving, try I've been making steady progress, things are gradually getting better, or I'm getting more comfortable with it, when progress feels slow. Try it's taking a bit longer than expected, but I'm getting there. Let's practice something you're working on, I've been making steady progress lately, or I'm still learning. But I'm feeling more confident. Let's cover describing options and choices. Instead of I have two options, try I'm deciding between two choices, I have a couple of possibilities, or I'm torn between these two ideas. To explain your choice. Try I went with this option because, or I preferred this one because it felt more comfortable. Let's practice. Choosing something today, I ended up choosing this option because it seemed more convenient, or I was torn between two choices but I picked the simpler one. Now. Expressing preferences with more detail. Instead of I like this more, try I tend to prefer this because it feels more comfortable, or I'm more drawn to this option. For something you don't prefer. Try it's not really my style, or it doesn't quite appeal to me. Let's practice two activities. I tend to prefer reading because it helps me relax, or I'm more drawn to outdoor activities. They give me energy, something you don't prefer, it's not really my style. Let's cover expressing urgency and importance. Instead of this is important, try this needs immediate attention, this is quite urgent, or we should take care of this as soon as possible, for less urgent things. Try there's no rush, or whenever you get a chance. Let's practice something urgent, this needs to be handled as soon as possible. Something not urgent, there's no rush at all. Just do it when you can. Now describing conditions and possibilities. Instead of if this happens, I will do that, try if that's the case then I'll, should that happen I'll make sure to, or if things go as planned I'll. Let's practice. If everything goes well, I'll finish by tomorrow, or should anything change, I'll let you know. Let's cover expressing encouragement. Instead of you can do it, try I believe in you, you're more capable than you think, or you've handled difficult things before, you'll get through this too. When someone's nervous. Try take a deep breath, you're doing great, or just take it step by step, you're on the right track. Let's practice. A stressed friend, you're stronger than you realize, or take it one step at a time, you're doing amazing. Now expressing satisfaction or dissatisfaction. Instead of I'm happy with it, try I'm really pleased with how it turned out, or this is exactly what I was hoping for, when not satisfied. Instead of I don't like it, try this didn't quite meet my expectations, or I'm not entirely satisfied with this. Let's practice. Something that turned out well, I'm really pleased with the results. Something that it didn't quite meet my expectations. As we reach the final stretch of this masterclass, let's cover summarizing, repeating the main idea clearly, without too much detail. Try to sum it up, basically, or in short. For example, if a friend asks how your day went, to sum it up, it was busy but productive, or basically. Everything went smoothly except for the morning rush. Let's practice. Your day so far. In short, it's been a pretty good day, or to sum it up, I accomplished most of what I planned. Next. Describing future possibilities in a hopeful, practical, or uncertain way. Instead of just maybe, try, there's a possibility that, it's likely that, or I'm considering the idea of. You can also express hope with I'm looking forward to, or I'm excited about the idea of. Let's practice. Something you hope to do soon. There's a possibility that I'll try something new this week, or I'm excited about learning more English in the coming days. Finally, let's talk about speaking with confidence, really the whole point of everything we've covered today. Confidence doesn't mean perfection, it means being comfortable expressing yourself. Instead of worrying about mistakes, try supportive self-talk like I can express this clearly, or I'm improving every day. Confidence is built through repetition, patience, and remembering that communication is about connection, not perfection. Let's practice. Say softly to yourself, I'm improving every day, or I'm becoming more fluent step by step. Let's wrap up by recognizing everything you've practiced today. Greetings. Describing your day, sharing opinions, handling misunderstandings, making suggestions, expressing emotions, talking about goals, summarizing, and speaking with natural confidence in everyday situations. Together, these build a strong foundation that will carry you from B1, B2 toward genuinely advanced fluency. Daily life English isn't just vocabulary and grammar, it's communication. It's about expressing yourself clearly, understanding others, and connecting in real, meaningful ways. Every time you practice these phrases, your English gets smoother and more natural. For one last moment before we close, think of one thing you want to improve in your English journey and say softly, I'm working on this and I will get better. Whether it's speaking faster, listening more clearly, using richer vocabulary, or expressing your feelings with more confidence, step by step, practice by practice, you're growing. That growth is fluency. Communication is a daily habit, so try using one or two phrases from today's lesson in a real conversation. The more you use them, the more naturally they'll flow. You're closer to fluency than you think, and every practice session moves you forward. Thanks so much for spending this time with me here on Motion English Podcast. I'm genuinely proud of the effort you've put in throughout this lesson, and I hope you feel more confident, more prepared, and more fluent than before. Every minute you invest in learning English brings you closer to the speaker you want to become, and I'm grateful you chose to learn with me. If you enjoyed this masterclass and want more episodes to help sharpen your listening, speaking, and daily communication, like the video, subscribe. And turn on notifications so you never miss a new one. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and keep moving forward. Your English journey is only getting brighter from here.